And that's fine. With that, I'll get to our speaker today. I have the pleasure of introducing Eric Case with Cornhusker Bank. He's going to be talking about the Alice Fund, and that is something that we have referred a lot of entrepreneurs to. It's a very useful tool, and without stealing any of his thunder, I'm going to turn it over to him. Eric, thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to all of you. This is great. This is my first time on a Zoom meeting, so I'm enjoying this. This is pretty neat. It makes me less nervous not having people around me, but seeing you on a screen. So hopefully I can be informative to you today and give you some ideas on some financing that you maybe weren't aware of. Again, thank you, Steve, for allowing me to be here today, and thank you, Luke, for setting me up. We don't have computers at the bank where we can have cameras and things like that. So you guys were generous enough to set me up with a camera here at the SEC building. So thank you very much for that, Steve and Luke, again. Yeah, I just wanted to present to you today Alice's loan fund. I used to work with Alice on this fund a few years ago. It used to be, well, it was called the Alice Integrity Fund, and I think it's still offered through REAP, but Cornhusker Bank is now offering what we call the Alice Loan Fund. It basically is the same type of fund loan. I'll go into some of the details of it. I thought I'd give you a little bit of background about Alice Dittman. I don't know how many of you know Alice, but she's pretty well known in the Lincoln community. If you don't know her, I'll give you a little background. Her family started Cornhusker Bank back in 1903. And it was in Davie, Nebraska. I can't remember what the name of the bank was at that time. That's bad on my part. I should have researched that. Sorry, Alice, if you're watching. Anyway, but it was started in 1903. Alice has been in banking for 67 years, believe it or not. That's a long time to be in banking. She's got several awards for being in the business community, just being in the community of Lincoln. She served as the Cornhusker Bank president from, I think, 1975 to 1996. She's very well known in the banking community. She was the president, I think the first lady president of Nebraska Bankers Association. And just recently, she was inducted into the Commercial Real Estate Hall of Fame here in Nebraska. So I'm just giving you a little bit of what she's done. I mean, there's a long list of accomplishments that Alice has had. And I think the thing that Alice wants to do with this fund is just to give other people an opportunity, like she's been given an opportunity. I know she told me that one time, that Eric, a lot of my career was given to me because people gave me a chance. They gave me an opportunity to do things. And so that's what Alice wants to do with this loan fund. And so she gifted some money to the bank for this purpose of just lending out some money to small businesses. And the loan fund can actually be used for any type of purpose. The only thing that she is asking that you don't use the loan fund for is for refinancing debt. So if you have inventory that you need to purchase, marketing, maybe buying some equipment, office equipment, those are the type of things that she's looking for you to use that for. Now, unlike other traditional underwriting, when you go to get a loan at a bank, this one is a little bit more lenient. You don't really have to have outstanding credit. You don't have to have collateral. In fact, it's an unsecured loan. We don't take collateral for this loan. So it's very much easier to get this loan than you would think. You don't have to have like a 700 credit score. It's open to anybody. So if you got good credit, that's good. If you don't, that's okay too. Like I said, there's no collateral requirement on this loan. The thing that we look at is that you have a business plan in place. A lot of you already have a business, so that's not probably a big deal for you. But if you're starting, for those of you who are starting a business, we just ask that you do have a business plan in place. And really, what we want to see is that you have a thought-out business plan that you know how to execute, and that you are that there's a way for you to be able to finish, from start to finish, that you can make a profit, and that you can be successful in your business. The terms of the loan, they're pretty simple. We usually start off with either $2,500 or $5,000. Again, they're unsecured loans. We term them out for 1 to 3 years, and it's right now we have it at a rate of 5.25%. On an unsecured loan, that's pretty good. So again, no collateral required. If you take out the full 5,000 over 5 years, or excuse me, over 3 years, your payment's going to be about $150 a month. I figured that out for you, so you don't have to do that on your calculator. Let me refer to some of my notes. I haven't really presented this a little bit. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything for you guys. If you need help on a business plan, Steve, do you have references or that perhaps they can use to get a business plan in place? Or?
Absolutely. We've got resources we can refer people to. We've got sample business plans, etc.
Okay, because that's going to be the key. And then I also gave, excuse me for turning my back here. I gave Steve an application for the Allison Loan Fund. And on that application, I can bring a little bit closer, but Steve does have a copy of this, and he does have my email address, so you can email the bank or to Steve, and we can get you an application and do that via email. Or you can visit me. I'm at our 56 and South Street location here in Lincoln. As far as eligible, really, it's just anybody in the Lincoln or even the Omaha community area. So we have about a 60-mile community or a 6-mile radius that we service to. So if you're in the Omaha area or the Lincoln area or surrounding areas, we will be able to help you with this loan. There's also a brochure that we can send to you if you want more information on it. That's about all there is with the, it's a pretty easy program. There's not much you have to do other than just supply us with your business plan and some tax returns or income verification. And of course, the application. The application itself has a checklist of items that we'll need that you turn in. And it should be a quick turnaround. It shouldn't take that long to get you approved, maybe a couple days, and we can fund the loan for you. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to take the questions from you.
And I will speak up and say one thing. We have referred a lot of startup businesses to the Alice Fund in the past, and it's been a huge aid in getting some businesses off the ground. You know, you read in the paper all the time, people get angel investors with millions of dollars. Yes, some companies do start that way, but most do not. Most start up with their own funds, and sometimes they just need a few extra dollars to buy a computer or business cards or to get their website up and running. And this loan can be a huge resource for smaller entities or even solo operators to get something up and running. So check it out for sure. We've known a lot of people, including a lot of our Focus Suite tenants, that have used this loan.
Some people we've helped in the past with it. When I used to work with Doris, again, with Community Development Resources. And some of the people that we helped when I was working with this before was like a hair salon, just getting their product. We had a textile or a craft, a business where they just buy their materials. I mean, you can find a variety of reasons for it. 5,000 does stretch a little bit, believe it or not. So. And then if you do pay it off, we will look at even doing a higher loan limit for you. If you want to borrow and pay it back, we can look at doing a higher limit for you on the next loan. So.
Okay, Eric, we do have one question in the chat. Okay. Is there a cutoff distance for this loan? In other words, is there a geographic area that you're limited to? What about if somebody's in Kearney or Alliance?
Again, we try to keep it within a 60-mile radius. You know, I can always look at that and take it to, you know, my supervisors and see if they'd be willing to do that. But we try to keep it in our lending area, which is the Omaha and Lincoln area or surrounding counties.
Okay. All right, other questions for Eric. Eric, can you give us any examples of how the loan proceeds have been used in the past, and maybe if you know of any examples of where it made a real distance and helped, you know, a real, it gave somebody a real chance to get a business up and running?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's like I had mentioned before, we had, let me see, I kind of wrote down a couple of them. Maybe I didn't have those written down, but I do know, like I said, there was a couple ladies that were starting their own hair salon business where they needed to buy product and inventory. also to rent out their space at their, or to lease out their chairs and so forth. We had another lady that was using it for her cleaning service. And again, that was just to kind of, she wanted to open up another location. Actually, she started in Lincoln, wanted to start in Omaha with her business, or her cleaning business. So I'm sorry, I'm not getting a lot of, I can't remember right now because I didn't write those down. Doris might have an idea of some of those that we've helped in the past too, but really it's just, it can be used for any purpose, like I said, other than really just refinancing debt. So we just want it to be used for equipment, inventory, marketing purposes. Maybe you can use it for, creating a website. I know one gentleman actually purchased computer equipment so he could do some marketing that way as well. So there can be a variety. There's no really restrictions on it other than paying off current debt. So.
Okay.
I've had the privilege of knowing Alice for a long time, and part of her original Alice Fund started about the time we were doing startup weekends. In fact, she was at the very first startup weekend and announced her program. And I know for a couple of years, and I think it still is, and you can correct me, but I think she still makes that available. Whoever gets selected as the winner of Startup Weekend or Startup Day has the ability to reach out to Alice's fund for that. And I know the year I was involved in that, they had two finalists, and I think at least one, if not, but I don't remember their names, but I think both of them were a part of that. And Alice was actually part of the jury that year. And so her heart is right there with everybody in terms of how can I help you become independent and grow your business.
Oh, if you ever get the chance to hear Alice speak, go. She'll have great remarks. Go up, shake her hand, meet her. She's an incredible woman. And you have to remember too that she built a banking empire long before women were really prominent in business. I mean, she came up through the ranks when women typically didn't rise very far in the business ranks. So she was a real trailblazer and just an incredible human being.
Also, in the late 90s and early 2000s, she was on the President's Council for Independent Bankers, the President of the United States Council for Independent Bankers.
Alice is actually 90 years old now, and she still comes into the bank and looks over loan files, and she likes to stay active, still on the board. And she's really an incredible woman. If you ever get to meet her, I would highly suggest you get to do that. So I think she's cut back on a lot of her public speaking and things like that, but yeah, she's just an incredible woman.
Any other questions for Eric about the Alice Fund? If not, Eric, thank you so much. Please help spread the word about this loan. If any of you are interested or know someone that might be interested in the Alice loan, either contact Eric at Cornhusker, or you can give me a shout. I do have electronic copies of a brochure for the Alice Fund and a loan app. So I'd be glad to email those to anybody that might have an interest. So
you mind if I'll just go ahead and give my email address and phone number.
Yes.
It's Eric, which is spelled E-R-I-C, and then dot C-A-S-E at cornhuskerbank.com. So eric.case@cornhuskerbank.com. And then my direct line at Cornhusker Bank is 402-434-2233. And again, I'm located at our 5555 South Street location here in Lincoln. So.
Okay, thank you, Eric. And now, I wish we had a drum roll sound effect here. Luke, can you work on a drum roll sound effect for us? It's time for our mug contest. So hoist those mugs up there where Eric can see them, and he's going to pick a winner.
Oh my gosh, this is great. I'm going to get a little bit closer to the screen here. So if I'm out of the screen there.
Hoist them up there where you can see them. And the winner, the winner gets a SEC Perk Up Thursday coffee mug, and these coffee mugs are awesome. And coffee even tastes better in them.
Okay, I've got a winner.
Okay, and the winner is?
The best dreams happen. I really like that saying, so I'm gonna give that one the win.
Okay, and who had that one?
Sweeney.
That was Joe? All right, Joe Sweeney. All right, Joe, thanks for attending. That really concludes our coffee for the day. Again, I appreciate your attendance. Please join us next week to learn about exit strategies from Exit Playbook. And if you know of anybody that would like to speak at this coffee, let me know. It's a good opportunity to get the word out about your business. You're featured in our email newsletter that goes out to 1,200 people and on social media. So it's a good way to get exposure for your business. So let me know if you're interested in speaking. I'm going to leave this open. I'll leave this meeting open for a while. So if you'd like to visit with one another, that's totally cool. Or you can hang around and ask Eric some more questions if you want. Brooke, have I forgotten anything?
Nope, I think we're good.
Okay.
Thank you too, Brooke, for facilitating this. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, hang out if you want, visit with one another, exchange contact information, or if you need to go on to other things in your day, we understand that too. So again, thank you for joining us, and I will leave this open for another 15 minutes or so if there are people here visiting. So thanks again.